Welcome class. This is question 4, Principles of Management. The paper is December 2021. So question 4. Empowerment of employees has become a major trend in many organizations. Suggest 5 strategies that a manager could use to empower employees in an organization. The whole question here borders on empowerment. Now, empowerment, the very simple thing that I will say about empowerment is that you are trying to improve on your employees so that they don't get out of the organization the same way they came in. So you are trying to capacity build them, to transform them into something better, so that they don't leave the organization the same way they came in. You want to take them to another level, and the best word to use here is to transform them for the better. So, what are some of the 5 strategies that a manager could use to empower employees in an organization? What are some of the strategies that a manager would use to empower employees in an organization? Sorry for that. It's like this thing is not picking up. Well, okay. I'll just find a way. Sorry. Okay, let me work with this. So it's 5 marks. Let's ignore the marks for some time. So suggest 5 strategies that a manager could use to empower employees in an organization. The obvious one, training. Training for capacity building. When you train, these employees gain new knowledge. They gain new skills. They gain a better understanding. They get exposed. To new things. So training is basically a way of empowering your employees so that they can improve basically on their capabilities. Then we also talk about things like coaching and mentorship. This, especially mentorship, may not be the same as training. This is where somebody who is experiencing something takes his time to nurture, these upcoming leaders, so that it's a process that takes time, and in the whole of that process, these subordinates keep learning what the best managers in an organization do to achieve the status or what the achievements are that they have made so far. So it's a very important step where you provide a platform for young ones or subordinates to learn from people who have basically succeeded in their professions, and that basically gives the a room for empowerment. Then we also talk about provision of adequate tools of work, power, equipment, basically adequate power. Give the employees adequate power. This power basically means the resources to do what they are supposed to do. That is very important. Sometimes some of these organizations will give people responsibilities, but they limit their powers, so that somebody cannot do much or extend beyond what is expected because he doesn't have the powers. So give people adequate tools, adequate equipment, adequate powers, so that they can handle even beyond their capabilities, and that gives them room for growth. When you talk about the leadership styles, this can also be a strategy for to empower employees. Leadership styles like democratic leadership style, laissez-faire, these are very nice in terms of nurturing or empowering employees. Democratic, you allow people also to participate in decision making, so they know the art of making decision. Laissez-faire, you leave people by their own. In fact, this one is very good because you are nurturing creativity and innovation. They go out there, look for their own ways of doing things, which might not necessarily be a concern to the organization. What is of concern to the organization or the management is the final product. You see? So that gives a lot of room for them to come up with different ways of doing things, different procedures, different processes, and in the process they will be growing and basically transforming into something better. Open communication is another way to empower employees. Open communication allows them to share and receive new, have different perspectives of looking at things, as opposed to if you are talking about close communication, their work is just to receive orders, So leave the communication open, let them know what is happening, let them participate, let them shape opinions, and by doing that, you will be basically opening a room for them to grow and to do things that are even beyond them. Responsibilities assignment. Responsibilities. Can you assign them responsibilities that are even over and beyond them? Challenging tasks. Give them challenging tasks. It is from these challenging tasks that the employees get empowered. So give them challenging tasks. Give them responsibilities that will keep them, engaged. We talk of delegation. Can you delegate some work to them? Through delegation, they are able to know some new stuff, what their superiors do, and that helps a lot in terms of nurturing and empowering them. We also talk of things like job rotations. Job rotations also empowers employees. They're able to know their environment, what their fellows do, because today he's in this department, tomorrow you take him to another department or different set of roles altogether. So at the end of the day, this person is well equipped in different facets of the organization, which is something that is very good. We talk about succession and career growth. Succession and career growth. This is also a way of empowering employees so that they, as they stay in the organization, there is a very clear ladder for improvement. So can we have that very good career succession plan that is actually practical, and that when people move through the ladder, that goes a long way in terms of empowering the employees, and it makes sure that they'll get out of that organization totally different people from people who join the organization. So we can work with this. Just pick any 5 strategies and you'll be good to go. The answer, the question wants 5 strategies. Now define horizontal coordination. Now, what is horizontal coordination? Horizontal coordination is where anywhere you see horizontal, just know that we are talking about something that is of flat in nature. Horizontal is flat in nature. So when you talk about horizontal, we are talking about employees who are of an equal kind of status, who are in the same status. Employees who are in the same status, choosing or establishing a relationship. Choosing to establish a relationship, or choosing to work together. Choosing to establish a relationship or choosing to work together for better performance of the organization. Remember what we said about coordination. Coordination is smooth flow of activities in an organization. Smooth flow of activities in an organization. That is coordination. So horizontal, we're just talking about people of the same level, people of the same status, people of the same, they are in the same platform in the organization, same status quo. They choose to work together to ensure that there is that seamless transition of job, or seamless processes, or seamless activities, that smooth flow of activities within the same level of an organization. Because the opposite of this is vertical coordination, and that is where we go through the ranks or the hierarchies. So for flat, we are talking about people of the same level choosing to work together to ensure that there is that seamless flow of activities. We are talking about the marketing department manager and the finance department manager and the HR department manager and the IT department manager. They are at the same level, so they choose to work together to ensure seamless flow of activities at that level that they occupy. That is the example of horizontal coordination. The next question is, summarize 5 advantages of horizontal organization structure. Now, a horizontal organization structure is where we have very few layers. In most cases, horizontal organization structure, we talk about a decentralized organization. In most cases, where power has been, dispersed. And then the opposite of this is vertical organization structure. Vertical organization structure is hierarchical in nature. We have different layers flowing from up to, this is vertical, you can see that is vertical, this is more of a horizontal. So when we talk about a horizontal organization structure, we are talking about a spread. So what are the advantages that are associated with this? Number one, fewer bureaucracies. You can see we don't have a lot of these bureaucracies like here. There's very few steps here, and fewer bureaucracy means that decisions can be made fast. It also means that relations are good. Relations are good because we don't have a lot of those, the status quo stuff. People are almost equal in the organization, and that does a lot of good stuff when you talk about relationships in the organization. There's a lot of teamwork, and I think you can already feel the teamwork here. If you just look at this, there's a lot of teamwork because these people feel like they are colleagues, comrades. We talk of comrades, power, colleagues, because they are in the same status. So there's a lot of teamwork. They can easily come together and do a lot of stuff. Communication likely also to be very efficient and easily flowing between these people, and we even don't have a lot of that, the breakdowns and distortion of information like here. Because here information has to move from this person, move to this level, to this level, to this level, and in the process, there might be distortion of the communication. Here we don't have, so communication, we can easily say that it's quite effective and very fast. Then you also have fewer experts when you talk about horizontal organization structure. You can see, and the advantage you get from this is that it's going to be less expensive. It will be less expensive, which is something that is good to the organization. Then, because of all these advantages, employees are likely to be easily motivated. So motivation, morale of the employees will be high, which will lead to employee satisfaction. Because of the motivation and the morale, and when you live well with people, we don't have a lot of this bureaucracy stuff. Generally, the satisfaction level goes up. When we talk about decision making, a bit faster. Decision-making is a bit faster. After all, we've said in most of these cases, the decisions are decentralized. So it makes decision-making to be very fast, and which is something that is very good. I think we can work with those points. They wanted 5 points. Yeah, let's work with this. These are 7 points. Just pick any 5 from those ones, and we'll be good to go. Now, discuss 4 limitations of autocratic leadership style. Autocratic is also called authoritarian, or what? Dictatorial leadership style. What are the limitations of this? Dependency. The employees develop what we call dependency syndrome. They can't think for themselves. It is the boss to think and give them instructions. Not the features of this. Instructions. It's a one-way communication. Instructions flow from the boss to the subordinates. The subordinates are not supposed to question. No questioning. They receive the instructions as they come. Then power is vested in the hands of a few. Those are some of the characteristics that define autocratic leadership style. So these employees will have that tendency to wait for people to make decisions for them because they have not been nurtured to make decisions on themselves. So that is a key limitation. The other limitation of this is that employees are forced to do things even if they are very sure that these things are wrong. Yes, decision making can be very fast. Decision making is an advantage, can be very fast because one person makes the decision, but it can also be wrong. It can be wrong because decisions just come from one person. If these decisions were allowed, people will brainstorm around them, possibly chances of getting the right decisions could be so high. But look at this one. One person makes the decision and imposes on other people. And these people who are imposed this decision don't have a chance to question. So even if the decisions are wrong, they will just take them. Isn't that a very dangerous environment to operate in? That's a limitation of autocratic leadership style. That the subordinates are not allowed to question. Even if it's a wrong decision, they will take it as it is. And chances that you are going to come up with a wrong decision could also be high because powers are vested in the hands of very few people. So what if these few people make an informed decision? So that comes in as a disadvantage. Then the other limitation of autocratic leadership style is that there's a lot of rigidity, a lot of inflexibility, where you, of course, the employees don't have room for creativity, for innovation, no room for creativity, no room for innovation. So if you don't have room for creativity and innovation, when are you going to grow? When are you going to grow? No room. You are supposed to do things as instructed. Very bad working environment for employees, especially when you talk about this current world where you need to expose employees to different kinds of setups. You never know. Tomorrow he may not be with you. He may be with another organization. So there's a lot of rigidity and inflexibility. They don't entertain an employee coming up with his or her own creative ideas. No feedback, and this can go a long way in terms of demotivating the employees. No feedback, which goes a long way in terms of demotivating employees. There's generally lack of trust when you talk about dictatorial leadership style. Leaders don't trust their subordinates, and that's why they have to keep on following and giving them instructions. So there's lack of trust, and this is not a very good value to have. It's not actually a value, it's a vice. It's not something that can help propel the organization to another level. Then of course the other limitation is that most of the work is left for the leaders. Decision making is a lot of work with risk. So you can imagine. So leaders tend to be overwhelmed when we talk about this autocratic kind of leadership. Leaders tend to be overwhelmed with thinking in a risky environment. If we are talking about democratic, it becomes very easy because you allow these people to come in, sit on a table and brainstorm. That is democratic style of leadership. But dictatorial, it might even come from one person. So you have to overburden yourself with a lot of thinking, and at the end of the day, in terms of succession, it is not good at all. It doesn't, the autocratic style of leadership doesn't nurture or doesn't favor succession planning. Doesn't favor succession planning because you are not giving these people room to also exercise their leadership skills. You want to do everything by yourself. You believe in yourself, and there's also some element of micromanagement when you talk about autocratic leadership, micromanagement. And micromanagement might not go well with some people. So there are some people who don't want to be followed. Give them the objective, they'll do the job and give you the results. So if you keep on following some people, especially people who are self-driven, you might be demotivating them. All these are limitations. Just pick any four and you'll be good to go. Thank you. Let's meet in the next question.